my fair friends, I'm Ruby Ruse. This is Baby Bunny, and welcome to Fairy Fortunes, where folklore is real, magic is action, and fluffy bunnies represent the power of imagination. So I do hope you'll subscribe to this channel so that you'll be present for all of our magical content. In December of 2019, I made the decision to make 2020 what's called a depth year. Now, as I understand it, when you decide to do a depth year, you take each month to focus on some aspect of your life. You're not necessarily bringing in anything new. The idea is to really focus and go deep with things that you already possess. So when I was planning the themes for each of the 12 months of the year, I thought it would be interesting to use the 12 houses of geomancy. Now, geomancy, if you don't know, is a divination system that was popular in the Renaissance era. And it is also the foundation for the Fairy Fortunes divination system, which I created myself. And so you know, the 12 houses of geomancy are also, incidentally, the 12 houses of astrology as well. So my theme for May was going to be the house of children, or as it is sometimes referred to, especially in geomancy, is the house of pleasures. And the reason for that is because the stage of childhood is most concerned about the pursuit of pleasures rather than other topics like marriage and career, for example. And what I found in the month of May is that without really intending to, it seemed like a great many of my videos were centered around this theme of pleasure. So I released a video on my favorite fantasy films. I had another video on baking, and then I even did a makeup video. And I'm also really proud of the fact that I spent a lot of time thinking about my YouTube channel, and I really defined my goals for the channel and what I hope to accomplish for you here. So I'm really pretty happy that in the month of May, I seem to have some pretty tangible evidence that suggests that I was pretty successful exploring the theme of pleasure and what it means to me. But as you can imagine, though, because I was so intensely focused on my depth year, the concept of pleasure was very much in the back of my mind every single day in the month of May. And because of that, I think I learned some things that go even deeper than these symbols of pleasure like films and baking and makeup and things like that. For example, I came to realize that while I don't really enjoy cleaning in the moment, things like having a freshly vacuumed floor and clean dishes and especially neatly folded laundry, these are things that give me this kind of subtle but yet consistent form of pleasure. It produces like an environment of pleasure. Grocery shopping is another example of this for me. Right now, during the COVID-19 pandemic, grocery shopping is just extremely stressful for me. But while I'm super anxious at the grocery store, after the fact, I do really enjoy that I do have all of this delicious food that I can cook and bake and do all these things. So the act of grocery shopping isn't necessarily pleasurable in the moment, but it creates, once again, that sustainable environment that supports pleasure. And of course, both of these things are kind of examples of what's called deferred gratification or delayed gratification. which is this concept that of something that might not be pleasant in the moment that you're doing it, but as I said, creates that supportive environment that grows and supports happiness. Which leads me to the rabbit in the room. Bunny Mom! Everything has its opposite. So if I hate grocery shopping, but that worthwhile task creates this environment that grows pleasure, if you will, it stands to reason that there's also going to be things that feel really good in the moment, but kind of detract and almost destroy that environment that supports pleasure and happiness. So I'm going to label that dysfunctional gratification. And during the month of May, I was definitely able to identify one very specific thing that was definitely dysfunctional gratification for me. And it's TikTok. I love TikTok. I do. It's so freaking creative. TikTok is just so creative. It is. And it makes me laugh so damn hard. It just does. It's so good. But I find that I jump on TikTok and I'm thinking that I'm only going to scroll through a couple of video clips, and then all of a sudden it's 2 o'clock in the morning. You know, and I could try and justify it by saying that, you know, I don't have to be anywhere right now because we're all in quarantine and we're all staying at home and we have nowhere to go. But that really just doesn't fly, because the truth of the matter is that when I stay up that late, it doesn't really matter when I get up in the day. I completely feel lethargic and cranky all day. Just staying up until 2 o'clock in the morning is just not something that is ever going to work for me. And it certainly does not promote that sustainable environment of pleasure. And another thing about TikTok is, yeah, it does. It makes me laugh in the moment. But baking and some of my other interests, like, you know, like crochet and, I don't know, making YouTube videos. These are things that give me a lot of satisfaction in both in the moment and also for long periods of time. Like I can talk about my YouTube channel and I can use the things that I've made with crochet, and the baking, of course, has many benefits to it and that kind of thing. So those kind of activities have kind of this sustainable arc to them. They promote more than just instant gratification. It promotes a sustainable environment of pleasure. That both baking and crochet especially, I think, have a lot of magical and spiritual correlations to them. There's not a lot of magic that's going on in TikTok, although they do promote a very positive environment there. So I you know what, I still love TikTok. I still do, and I definitely am going to keep watching TikTok. I'm not giving up TikTok. But definitely spending all of this time really deeply considering what pleasure is and what it means to me. That process has definitely lessened TikTok's appeal for me, I think. And the truth is, I've found that I spend significantly less time on TikTok than I did So with that, you know what? I'd really love to know one of your personal pleasures. You know, tell me something about your hobbies that really promote happiness, promote this environment of pleasure for you. I want to know if you're a baker, if you do crafts, or do you play a sport or collect something? And another question that I have for you is, do you think these modes of pleasures for you, do they have kind of a spiritual context for you? And do you think that these things, like I said, create this environment of pleasure? Does it give you is it an instant gratification thing for you, or does it have this kind of sustainable environment of pleasure for you? I really want to know what you think. So please let me know in the comments down below. And until next time, have a magical day.